got a new haircut. Do you like it? So I posted something today. It was about Casey Neistat, and it was about M. Night Shyamalan. Two people who I talk quite a bit about here. This post compared two kind of different things going on. M. Night Shyamalan's career that just disintegrated over the last decade and a half or so. It got so bad that he couldn't film a movie anymore. Nobody would do business with him. He made this movie, he had to mortgage his house to get $5 million, which is a pretty small sum of money for a movie to get a movie put together, which is a huge risk. And then he tried to sell that movie. Didn't work. During this really low point of his life, found this really interesting philosophy, which is this Greek Stoic philosopher, Epictetus. This was a really great teaching from Epictetus. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matter so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself to the choices that are my own. In other words, take the things you want to do and control, but separate them into the things you can't control and the things you can't, and ignore the things you can't. That's kind of then what M. Night went on to do. He couldn't control like how people hated him. His agents started to hate him, so he just fixated all of his attention on just the movie he was making. He went back to edit it, made a lot of changes. Eventually things just worked out. You also then have to have this faith that the uncontrollable will just work themselves out if you just keep your focus on the things you can control. And then I compare that to kind of this style of how Casey Neistat makes videos using just random junk, do-it-yourself things, constantly building things. He can afford much more elegant solutions, CGI effects. Everybody's trying to make really neat, clean, perfect-looking movies. Casey embraces the imperfect, wabi-sabi, wabi-sabi makes us kind of focus on the imperfect. And it makes us realize we can't control everything. It's okay to let some things go. I thought it was an interesting post. It didn't do so well on social media. Not how I hope things go, right? Not how the number of reads or likes or tweets or whatever to help spread this thing, which is perfect for this post. I can't control likes. I can't control shares. I can't control these things. But what I can control is the focus I put on these pieces. Is there something I can do better in this thing? I don't know. Maybe I can control showing up again and writing another post. Improving my craft as a storyteller. Someone was complaining on Twitter about how they can't stand watching their unsubscribes. Like they go into MailChimp and they look at that list and it just bums them out. What Epictetus is talking about, this is what M. Night is talking about. You gotta stop looking at that stuff. That isn't something you can control. You can control the email that you send out, but you can't control who's gonna unsubscribe. They're gonna do what they want to do. So stop paying attention to it. This is just this thing that I would like to build. I would love to build maybe a Chrome extension that hides everything you can't control on the internet, right? It hides Facebook likes, tweets, it hides anything about your follower counts, your unsubscribe counts, and maybe it's just this constant collection of things that you really can't control, and it hides them. Kind of like how ad block works, right? Ad block contains basically just this giant list of things that it is constantly blocking. Well, maybe this would be the Epictetus version of ad block. It just blocks all the things that you really should be ignoring. I don't know. Maybe something I'll work on. I hope you dig these videos. Please hit the thumbs up. Please give me some external validation by hitting the thumbs up button. More importantly, subscribe if you're new here so you can get more of these videos. I can't control it, but I can at least ask. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.